Hey guys, Indetta1 here. Got a little bit of an update for you. Obviously, starting with my M249, my A&K version here. As you can see, I mounted an ACOG to it. Pretty simple to do. It's pretty blurry. Just drilled a couple of holes there in the bottom. Tapped this one, so it's got threads on it. This one's actually tapped too. Then underneath the ACOG there's a section of rail that I cut to fit, and that's all that took. Nothing hard there. So, anyways, there's that gun. Also want to show you this guy. If you remember in my last video, I was talking about getting a KMP9 for 60 bucks. This is actually that gun. Now when I got it, it was painted like a two-tone color. The top was like almost like a mustard yellow tan wannabe. It didn't look very good, so I started stripping all that off, and I was gonna just repaint the gun. But I ended up really liking the finish that this thing was given. It's hard to tell on the camera, guys, I admit, but it's really matted looking, really muted. There's no shine to it at all. Obviously I stripped all of the metal down, including the flash hider here. It's not polished, as you can see. There's kind of see that there's some wired lines to it. I actually like that brush look a lot more. The red dot is just an Osprey from my other KMP9 that I had, that I stripped all the paint off and put it on here. The foregrip, the stubby foregrip, came off of that gun too. It does require a little bit of modding to fit here. As you can see, I milled out some of this here so that my folding stock has a place to sit. I actually like how big it is. I like the way that feels in my hand. It just sits really nicely. Got two mags with this guy now, obviously. The whole reason I bought this Boneyard gun was to get this mag. Now you can see this dark spot here, that's where it was broken. I just filled that in with some epoxy putty, threw the top back on it, pinned it in there so it was where it's supposed to be, and then started shaving it and sanding it as it set up into the shape it needed to be. Keep in mind, I had to keep moving this, you don't want to get that epoxy into place. So works now, feeds flawlessly. As you can see, both of the feed the bolt stops are gone. Yeah, just a food for thought here, guys. Every single KWA submachine gun mag that I have, both of these, all three of them for my MP7, every one of them has this feed follower busted off. It's obviously a design flaw there. I'm saying 5 out of 5, and they're all broke. I would think that's definitely something KWA should look at. Anyways, really happy with that gun. The other one I want to show you here, gotta move this guy, is my WE EBR. Okay. Got my stuff for it here. Started up front. Got a G&G SOCOM style suppressor. Now this thing does fit over the outer barrel. My outer barrel comes all the way to here. This end is just tapped. I just threaded this side of it, and there's enough space on the inside here to slide over the outer barrel, so it just slides over and then screws on, nice and tight. I filled in the bottom of it with some epoxy putty, because this is a quick detach style suppressor, guys, obviously. And to round it off and get rid of that flat part, I just used some epoxy putty and painted the whole thing. Harrow style bipod was on there from before. My scope here is a Centerpoint. I got it off of Centerpoint or Centerline. I can't remember. It's on here somewhere. Yeah, Centerpoint. Sorry about that. Centerpoint, 3 to 9 power, 50 mil dot. I've obviously got the sunshade extension on it, and it is illuminated. It is a 0 locking scope, so it's a pretty nice scope. Flip this guy around. I've got it mounted on this with this canter mount, which coincidentally is the wrong size. So you can see I had to use some tape to shim it up and get it tight. I'll get some of the plastic fillers in there eventually. The scope mount that I went with is GMP M14 scope mount. It does require a little bit of modifying, or at least mine did. I had to sand a little bit off of here with my belt sander to get it to sit flush. It was always sitting cockeyed because this part was a little bit too long. The other big mod I did to this gun, obviously other than the trigger work in my first video, is got a PSG 1 style grip on here. It's an AEG grip. It was basically a direct bolt-on, guys. The only things I had to do to it were shave off the little tabs on the inside of the pistol grip that slide up the gearbox shell. I had to take those off with a utility knife, and then it fit right on. Now I also went ahead and took off about a 1/4 inch off the height of it. This part was a little bit taller, and I did that because these things hanging down to about here I just thought looked kind of funny. You know, I've got enough room to get my hand in there still. It feels comfortable, so that's all good. Like I said, I expected this to be a lot harder mod. I figured I'd have to make some kind of mounting bracket, but darn near a direct bolt-on, guys. Super easy to do. Now, the last thing I want to show is what I got for Christmas. Here, you guys see it. Got a GoPro Hero 3, the silver edition. Pretty sweet, pretty stoked. I've taken it out and played with it a little bit. I haven't done a whole lot to it yet. Got it synced up to my smartphone so that I can use that. Pretty neat, guys. I'm really happy. This means that there should be some game footage coming up, so you can watch for that. Now, I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to play next. I think it might be a couple weeks still. I know our field is actually closed for this weekend. So, but anyways, guys, thanks for watching. As always, I appreciate it. And still got the SVD that I'm working on slowly but surely. Money's really tight. Somebody actually hit my car the other day. It was a hit and run, so we got to get that fixed, and that's coming out of my pocket. So other than that, thanks for watching, and watch for the game footage and everything else, guys. Thanks again.